Guys, fellow webtoon addicts, I know I have been gone for a while, but we're back. And you know what we're going to do today? Talk about the boxers, specifically chapters 115 to 117. So let's just get in, forget the introductions, and just start reading the chapters. So on chapter 115, we have Ryu on the ground just thinking to himself as all these self-doubts start to come in, questioning his worth, like, what are you doing? What happened to your dream? Two people in your other country have completed their dream. Like, what are you doing? You're just being a bum on the ground. And just as he's thinking about this, he just thinks, why am I alive? What's the whole point? Then he comes across a TV showing a fight of Jay and Yu that already happened. Then he realizes, oh, this is what he wanted to do the entire time. So he decides to go back to the coach who offered to teach him. And this is where the coach says, I'll teach you, but you're going to have to pay me first. And Ryu's like, why? Well, because I'm a famous coach. I don't do these things for free. So this leads to Ryu going back to Josh's uncle's restaurant and asking for forgiveness and asking if I can work here. And he said he would only do it if he apologized. And this is where Ryu actually shows some growth and decides to apologize to Josh and his uncle about not destroying the restaurant, but like breaking a piece of glass in the restaurant. And at this moment, Ryu feels a sense of freedom and a bit of embarrassment from apologizing. As we start chapter 116, we have Ryu boxing someone, but we don't really know how we got here. Then the screen transfers to something that happens usually over when Ryu was coming to a gym for the first time with the money. Then the coach shows him the 1-2 basic combo. But Ryu's like, I already know this, just get me in a fight, because that's how I actually get the hang of things. Then the coach says, since you're expert, show me how it's done. Then Ryu proceeds to do the combo. But the coach says, hey, your center of gravity is wobbly. So what's up for your legs? He can tell that your legs are not in the condition it used to be in. I bet people used to call you geniuses. But now you're just a dud, and you need to realize that. And Ryu's just not accepting that because it's just too harsh of reality for him to accept. But since Ryu is so hot-headed, he just challenges the former champion to aspire. But the head coach wouldn't allow that and just let a nobody fight a Ryu. And what happened is Ryu doesn't even stand a chance against a nobody, like someone with a basic character model and face. Like the author didn't even take time really drawing him, and Ryu can't even beat him. And this just makes Ryu even more hot-headed because his ego is still inflated by being acknowledged by Coach K in the past. So then Gina actually decides to take us up on his offer and decides to spar him, but only using one hand, saying if you can last for 30 seconds, you would win. In the process, Ryu realizes this man is way out of his league and he can't even defend against his just one arm, and only lasted for 2 seconds before getting knocked out. And this is where he finally understands that he was no longer a genius after he woke up from being knocked out. And this is why he's boxing. And going back to the previous scene, and this is why he's boxing this nobody to start a new way of boxing and forget about his old one, because he can no longer go back to that since his leg is too bad. So as we start off chapter 117, we have extras 1 and 2 talking about how when people are born, they're born with different types of special talents. And they're saying, woe is me, because they don't get praise for just doing the basics anymore. They just have to try harder. And as they fall behind the competition, and they're saying how amazing Ryu is, even the track and field athlete can't keep up. And then they're saying at least you're not great at referring to Dre, who's all the way in the back. And with Yu, he's just saying he's a special case, because when Ryu makes a shot into a basket, it feels like he's making an accurate shot, but when Yu makes a shot, it feels like the hoop is sucking the ball in. And their conversation ends when saying, I wish I could be born special like Ryu. I bet he'd become rich and famous in the future. Then the swing switches to Ryu doing dishes in the kitchen. And that scene just says 1,000 words alone. And going back to our present, we see Ryu is boxing some guy in a minor bout. And we have this coach telling him, like, you have to forget all your fancy moves and go back to basic, because that's your only hope. And as Ryu wins the match, we see his coach thinking he still hasn't fully discarded his own moves. And he talks to Ryu about this, saying you can't continue doing this up. You can't keep using these moves, expecting them to keep working. And Ryu just tells him to stop nagging, but Ryu knows himself that he can't keep this up. So as Ryu walks home, he realizes, no, this isn't so bad, like leading a normal life, like working hard, making honest living, forming a good relationship isn't that bad, and he realized how immature the life he used to lead was before. And he thinks to himself, I can never become the best the leg I have right now. I can never beat you. And I can't even, and he says he can't even beat Seawhead from the past experience. And he'll just be a boxer who just fights in minor bouts, which just makes him think about how he was in the past, showing that he really regrets his past mistakes. So the next day we have Ryu at the gym, and his coach says, I think it's okay if we start training you for the world championship boxing now. And he shows him his next opponent is an opponent from Korea, who's looking for someone in the preliminaries. And the person from Korea is a Korean world champion, Jay, which is pretty exciting because I did not expect Ryu to fight Jay so fast, and it's happened. And it's going to happen faster than I expected. I just can't wait to see these two opposing forces go together.